Welcome to the Pfeiffer Family Podcast. We're so excited to have you here with us today. This is our third episode. What are we going to talk about today, Niles?
We've got 6 topics lined up. We're starting with the Man in the Maze case study, which is just a recent deal we went through that had a lot of the things that you can expect to happen normally in a transaction, followed by our attendance to the Tom Ferry event where
that was great.
It was great. There was so much good information. Thank you, Julio. Kim will probably be able to get more details later about the guy who financed our tickets. Or sponsored rather. And then we're going to zoom into Clermont, go a little bit deeper into what makes Clermont so special, followed by a park run report. We did our first park run.
Yay!
How did you like that?
Oh, I can't wait for the next one.
Me too. And then we're going to talk a little bit about this book here. We haven't opened it yet. This will be my first time opening a book that my sister, who has passed from cancer's mother-in-law, who made this book chronicling her life and pictures from childhood and all that type of stuff. So we'll unpack that together at the very end before we dive into some questions.
Awesome. Well, let's dive in. So before we actually dive in, Niles, I want to ask you why should our viewers stay with us at the very end of this episode? What do we have to share that's so important to them, and why is it going to be useful in their lives?
I think if you're already interested in Clermont, which if you're still watching, I imagine you have some degree of interest in Clermont in Central Florida, you'll get to learn a lot of the things you'd have to be a local here to really know and experience, the more detailed questions. And you'll learn about disciplines for real estate agency work, but also just in business and life, as well as when we're talking more generally about life, some experiential knowledge that can encourage you as you go through the journey.
Yes.
Life can be a journey, and perilous but also victorious moments will bombard you sometimes in rapid succession faster than you're really ready for. And that's kind of how it's felt for us recently.
Sure.
How do you feel before we get into this? 6 months in, how do you feel about this run?
I feel extremely blessed. It just feels like we did put in the work. We put in a lot of work before we even started on our self-development, on our health, on our diligence with the gym, with our eating, with our reading, with our podcasts, everything that's been around our growth. We've been focused on that. And I would say for the last 2 years, but then over the last year, we've really cranked it up at like a high level. Would you agree?
I agree. The intensity has ratcheted up to, I'd say, as far as you should go safely.
Yeah.
And sustained for as long as it should be. I feel like I'm at the end of some sort of epic and epic odyssey type journey. If we're going to keep using that word, it's probably redundant at this point, but I feel confident about the future because of how hard the road to this point was. It feels that there's nothing we can't handle. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. It also feels like we've received favor and fortune and providence, all sort of aligning the right people, the right place.
Absolutely.
And the right, not even words necessarily, but I feel like we've lucked into the right sequencing of events that open things up to us with more expediency than probably most early agents get the benefit of having.
Yeah.
Like our runways felt smoother.
Absolutely.
Than what I think most agents should go in expecting. But we also worked much harder to get to this point than I think it took most people to get in. Does that resonate? And I'm not trying to compare other people. It's just we were doing several different workloads after grief without time for grief. And working on this new approach where we carve out a lot of time before society has demands on you for your personal life goals. Because I think everyone has that experience where you don't feel like there's enough time in your life for what really matters to you or what you really need to do to move your life forward and get out of the entrapment that can happen financially or situationally. But if you get up for 1 to 4 hours earlier than everybody else and you use that time for what you need to get done, you can do a lot.
Yeah. The other day you said the extra time that we get in the mornings is equivalent to a second part-time job.
It said 70% of a full-time job based on what we did this one last year. And that all allocated towards physical authority or presence work like gym, bodybuilding, and professional development, education. You did marketing courses, funneling,
real estate.
The real estate course with all of these supplementary courses.
Yeah. It's been a year of just...
How much educational content in terms of audio would you say you've consumed this year?
let's say 300 days out of the year times 2, and that's being like nice 600 hours.
I'd say that's a modest estimate based on what I've watched.
Because usually I listen to like 3 to 4.
Yeah, and it's all Alex Hormozy,
Mel Robbins,
who's
Jay
more
Shetty.
self-help, and those are more self-help than business and real estate. But was it Bigger Pockets, Deeper Pockets? There's also a lot of real estate specific.
The Daily Mortgage
and marketing.
Marketing, absolutely, yeah.
Who is it from Bettina
Rudolph, yeah. She's Brazilian, but she's really good.
Brazilians are really good.
And Hormozy, I think he's like the king of marketing.
Perfect, cool. And there's always a lot of overlap. You got to take from lots of different sources and try it all out.
I like to try to get everything that I like from each one and make it gold.
Well, you're good at making it gold. I'd say you do that in the kitchen too.
Thank you.
Are you ready to get into topic 1?
Yes, let's go.
So this recent deal that we went through had a lot of the, they're not even problems. It's just snags and little hurdles that you normally are going to have to go through. So we thought we'd walk through some of the things that happened. Do you want to kick us off on how this got started? And
yes. So we started off with a few showings. This person is actually an investor. They started off wanting to buy 2 properties with about a budget. It started with a budget around the $400,000. So we were going to go look at 2 properties around $200,000 in the Metro West in Orlando, which is like my specialty. Because when I worked in property management, we had about 80 properties, and I would say about 60 of those properties were in Metro West. So I know all of those condos and all of those HOAs. And so I was pretty excited to go back there and see that. And so that day, I would say we looked at how many properties? About 5 or 6?
5 or 6, yeah.
We looked at about 5 or 6 condos. They wanted 2 beds and 1 bedrooms, and their main concern was they were looking just for newer units with newer AC units, with newer water heaters that were just well taken care of by the previous owner, and with lower HOAs. Because at the end of the day, they want a return on their money. This is
an investment scenario,
exactly.
So there's different metrics and valuations.
Exactly. So that first weekend, it was freezing cold in Orlando. I don't know if you remember. But we took them all over the Metro West area. It went very well. And then the next weekend, they asked to look over by the Sand Lake area. It's close to where the Orlando Eye is. And it's also a great location because you're close to International Drive. You're close to the Walmart. It's very well located. Also down Sand Lake is the restaurant aisle of Orlando.
Yep.
So
it was basically Walmart, 5-minute walk to the left, the Eye straight across. When you come out of the place, you're looking at the Eye, Walmart right there.
Exactly.
It's a good location, especially for their, who they're trying to market to.
Exactly. And they have a family member that already has a unit there that's rented. So they felt safer in that community. And that's understandable. And it's not our place to tell them what to do if that's what they want to go with. And that's what we did. Yeah. So we went and showed them that day 2 units, 2 1-bedrooms. One was on a 2nd floor with the view of a lake. With carpet. It's a little bit not as well taken care of, I would say.
Yeah.
And then we showed him a 1st floor unit that was like with better like vinyl flooring. It looked newer.
All of the upgrading.
But it faced the parking lot with 4 AC units around it. Yeah. And the person that was interested in buying was worried about, whoever's sleeping there at night, they're going to have that loud noise.
Reasonable concern.
So they decided to put in an offer. This was a unit that was listed for $160,000. That was the appraised value. They already had lowered that price. And they had asked us if they should put in an offer that's a little bit lower. And because it wasn't very well taken care of, we did say, if you're wanting to put in new appliances and if you're wanting to change the flooring, if you're going to paint, I would recommend putting in a lower offer.
In general, with negotiations, you tend, everyone anchors at where you want to start from because you anticipate coming towards the middle.
Absolutely.
At the end of it, it's very minute differences that you're really concerned about. $1,500 can be the thing we're really worried about. But since we moved so far from there and so far from here, and people with a lot of experience keep in mind that end game and how they approach the opening.
Yeah.
Chess talk, sorry.
Yeah, it felt like this specific transaction really felt like a chess game because
it did.
It started at $160. And then our buyers came in with an offer for $148, $12,000 under the appraised value.
Which is so if you're just doing math, that's a reasonable amount. But the listing agent, when I went to him with it, he was very offended and acted as if we should not get our hopes up about the opportunity to continue negotiating.
Yeah, so we submitted it. We kept our faith. He
was probably trying to play hardball because he saw a reasonably low offer, but that was like, okay, maybe they.
Exactly. And keep in mind, this is a cash buyer that we have.
Yes, cash.
So we submitted the offer. He kind of, didn't like it, but then they ended up accepting it.
They did.
So they accepted the $148. We go with the $148. And then we schedule the inspection. We have a great inspector, by the way.
Can I name drop him?
Yeah, of course.
Rick Davis is the man. And if you, as you should, believe in and know about the work ethic and ethic code of the Marine Corps, this guy's an ex-Marine, and then he was a boss on the offshore rigs. And so you can trust him with not just the integrity, ethics side of things, but also all of the technical work side of things. He's going to be 110%.
Absolutely.
And so, sorry, he's a good friend. And
he's a
good
longtime family friend, and he's an ex-Marine, and he's just a general great guy, and he's going to fight for you as your inspector. And we should have him here someday to even do some explaining, because he knows every little thing, and he'll find things for you. Because you don't want to buy a property and then later find things that are going to be big problems for your pockets later. So he's very valuable to have.
Yep. And for me, I'd rather have a guy like him who's always going to go buy the book. Because it
can come back on everyone.
It comes back on everyone. You'd rather know the truth as soon as possible, and everybody know the truth as soon as possible, so that we can work towards real solutions from a true starting point together.
We can know if it's fixable, or we can move on to the next property and save our clients, and everybody's happy at the end of the day.
And I feel secure about that happening with him.
With Rick, exactly. Yeah.
So very cool.
And so we had the inspection done. We were originally told that the AC was a 2025 unit. He goes and does the inspection. Guess what? It's a 21-year-old unit. Yeah. So our buyer's not happy about that. He's very analytical. He's very number oriented. So he says, I want another discount. And there were multiple other issues that were found, like the fridge wasn't even working. He was already planning on replacing the appliances, but still, if you're selling a property and you're telling us these things are working, we expect to receive them working. And so he could have asked for a much bigger discount, but he asked for an extra $3,000 off. Yeah.
I think you should have.
But also he got the $12,000 off already with the, so there's things that we need to be reasonable with, I think.
One thing I learned new in this one is, and this is probably silly, I should have known this before, but the potential buyer, or no, in a situation where a buyer is potentially entertaining your offer, they will often look at how much you're willing to go into escrow as a metric for, is this a serious low offer or is this insulting?
Yes.
And so even though the agent was initially like, don't get your hopes up, 12 is far. Our buyer client was pretty savvy and knew how to get an offer that the seller would take seriously.
Exactly.
So I get very confused with buyer and seller when we talk about these things, and it's caused problems. That's my big thing. Left, right, buyer, seller.
You're good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
Thank you.
So our buyer asked for an extra $3,000 off because of the AC and the other issues, which we think was pretty fair.
I think fair.
There were about 39 items marked on this inspection report. So that just tells you there was mold found. The AC ducts were all messed up.
The electrical
panels. Yeah. There was lights not working. There was everything you can imagine. And so he asked for an extra $3,000 off. And then the owner came back with, I only want to take off another $1,500. So then our buyer says, okay, well, I'm not doing the deal. So that night we send a contract with an addendum saying that we're canceling the transaction.
We did. That was the second hardball moment where we went to bed a little bit. Or am I going to have nervous dreams? But we didn't. And we wake up.
I honestly slept like a baby. I was just like, it is what it is,
Honestly, to our client, I said, excellent, because let's figure out if this is the deal for you or not, move on to the right one for you. Like, let's get to the true point that we can work from fast.
Exactly.
And it worked, because the next morning we woke up.
And what happened?
I danced, because you said, look at what they said. And I don't know if I was brushing my teeth or something, but I jumped up and down.
It was really early, because we wake up, at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I open my email, because first thing I do is check my phone. Don't do that. That's not good for you.
No, it's not.
Check my email, and they had signed the contract for $145,000. The property was listed for $160,000. So we were able to go under contract at $145,000, $15,000 under. So we're super excited.
Big win.
It's currently in the works. They've already completed the inspection period. Tyler's working on finishing a few things. And we just can't wait to get this done. And we're
cross the finish line
with this one, because we're already going to move on to the next one with them. They have another property that they want to invest in. Yeah. And now that we know these buyers so well, I love that, because now we know how to cater to them and know what they like and what they don't like, and what to look for them and how to talk to them. And it's just so fun once you create a relationship with this family.
Personally, I like their style.
I really like
so I hope, however the future goes, I hope that we get to stay on good terms with them for a good while. Okay, that was awesome. You did so good at summarizing. Yay. You remembered 39 items. I was like, how many was it? You're so good at the details. I love that about you. Lessons here on our little paper. Negotiation is psychological. Dead deals aren't always dead. Persistence and structure is more powerful than emotion. I agree. What's next?
Tom Ferry. That was so fun.
It's
So
really fun.
I honestly, we're very new to real estate, just, into the sales section of real estate. And I had no idea who Tom Ferry was. But since we've entered our brokerage, we've just been saying yes to everything.
Yes.
And our brokerage offered tickets to the Tom Ferry event that's sponsored by Cross Country Mortgage with Julio Silva. Thank you so much, Julio, for sending these tickets to Nova.
You're the man,
Thank you,
Julio.
Nova, for offering these tickets to us. And we're eternally grateful to you guys.
Nova.
We've learned so much. We met so many incredible people. We learned market updates. We learned about Tom Ferry. We learned about David Childers. We learned about Lourdes from Fort Lauderdale. She's the queen of sales, her systems.
Yeah.
And so we're about to dive into all these things.
And we met a bunch of cool people.
We really
Great
did.
networking. But Nova, y'all are the best. Thank you. And Julio, you're the best.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sincerely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, one thing I took away from, and it's similar to other models that I've heard or frameworks that I've heard, their 5-year vision plan.
Mhm.
Their 5-5-1 or 5-1-1. So it's like your 5-year vision, then it's your 1-year target, and then your 1-week execution. So you build these 1-week executions to that 1-year target that builds towards your 5-year vision.
Okay.
And I thought that was a good framework because weeks really are where our brains are preset to digest a work chunk.
Yeah.
And so they're on top of the systemization beyond just this one in the phone. Like,
it's just so easy as an agent to get lost in, I started on social media, and then a text comes in, and then I'm calling another client, and then I'm going to take my dog out, and then I'm cooking lunch, and then he actually put up a picture that was like squiggly lines of what a day of an agent looks like.
Yes.
And then so he's like just expressing how important it is to have a system. So if you're making calls, make sure you're making calls back to back to back to back. If you're doing emails back to back. You don't want to be doing emails, doing calls, cooking lunch, calling your boyfriend, doing this, doing that. You're going to get mixed up. So that was super valuable to just, right?
Yeah, and that's how I don't feel like we've been squiggly lines chaos, but I have felt that it's hectic.
Yeah, if you don't have a system, it's really easy to get off track.
So luckily we already were fairly systematic, but the one that they had for when you're going to go into real estate, I was like, I want to anchor on that one. That one's better than mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's really helpful to have that 1-year target. Like pick one thing. Not one thing, but you chop a tree fastest picking one spot to chop with each successive.
That's my problem. I'm going to chop all over the tree.
Yeah, we all do. That's how the companies keep us consumers.
That's true.
So another one they had was time blocking, especially for lead generation. But in general, time blocking is one that has been really successful for us when we use it, and we really miss it when we neglect it.
Yeah. One thing he said that was, that we've been doing is calendars. Like you need to put everything in the calendar. So you want to hang out with me, get coffee, it needs to go in the calendar. My mom wants to see me at this point, it needs to go in the calendar.
Immediately.
Because our lives right now are at that point. And so even if it's time chunks for us to record this podcast, it's in our calendar. Time to edit.
There was a way of thinking of things that I never thought of. And it was just basically appointment volume. How many appointments are you carrying on per week?
Yeah.
How many did he say we needed to have?
I think it was like 15 to 20. So, which isn't bad if you think about 5 a day. That's not horrible.
Because they don't have to be long appointments necessarily. And then I liked the idea of role playing and scripting because we have the benefit of each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
And so that was when I was like, oh, thanks. Thanks, Mr. Ferry. Now, you loved David Childers' presentation.
I really did.
You were very data, and you were going into data science at one point when we moved to Florida initially. And so I'll let you take over for David's. Tell me what you loved about his presentation and some big takeaways. It doesn't have to be hyper specific, though. If you want to go into your phone and look up some stuff.
No, I'm guessing he's the head of Keeping Current Matters, and his company, their goal is to bring together the real numbers, the real data. He said he spends, was it 80 hours a week?
Yes. Putting
these numbers together. So I'm just glad that we have someone out there doing this that is qualified to do that, to give us this valuable information all chewed up for us. And so he has the numbers on mortgages. He has the numbers on like what the interest rates are looking like, what the monthly rates can look like with the small difference. He had even a small comparison of just showing, because nowadays people want to wait for like that one little drop of a percentage, point to get the deal on the mortgage, and they wait, and then they might lose a deal on buying a house. And he put up an example. I'll put it up here later to show it. But because of like a 0.1 or 0.2 interest rate difference, it was only like $27 a month that people are waiting to buy a house. You know, like that's not really that big of a difference. And once the interest rates drop a lot, what's going to happen? The demand's going to go up. And then the sellers are going to raise the prices. And then why would you want to wait? You're going to have a lower interest rate with a small difference a month for a higher price on a house.
Small difference, higher price.
So
speaks for itself, I'd say.
Exactly.
I would say, I don't want to forget to mention How's the Market is the name of his podcast.
Yeah.
And so all this stuff, he also does, like visuals, guides, graphs, agent-friendly content.
Yes.
So when we're talking about all the education we've done to get here, he's at the top of our list for moving forward. We want to listen to his podcast every day, let's say,
yes,
during our commute, for example.
And one thing that he said that really stood out to me, because this is the question that every person that invests in real estate
every single time
has asked before. When's the best time to buy?
When is the best time to buy, Kim? Do you have an answer for that?
So one thing that they said while we were there that really stood out to me, and I wrote it down because I want to make sure I say it word for word very clearly.
Yeah.
It's not about timing the market. It's about time in the market. Time in the market. So over time, that's when you're going to make your money.
Yes.
If you wait, that's money you're leaving on the table.
I'll probably butcher this, but it's in my notes here, but I'm going to try to not have to look at it. He said, think back 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Do you wish you had bought a house 10 years ago right now? Okay, so think 10 years from now. Do you think you're going to be happy about waiting?
Yeah. And then the second thing he said, do you think a 6-month difference is going to make a difference?
No.
Compared to the 10-year comparison?
And so he switched me. I used to be more like, let's wait and see, chess mindset. And then he really flipped my switch like, no, I need to get in the market as fast as I can for as long as I can. It's about time in the market and depth of involvement in the market.
I honestly think it's because we've been so indoctrinized to, get things so quickly. We want everything fast. We want fast food. We want to win things overnight. We want to just cha-ching and money falls in our, it's like falls from the sky. And so passive income. And so the thing is, buy it, wait it out, and you're gonna see returns. And then in Orlando, we're gonna talk more about that later. The city that never closes. I'm so excited to talk about that.
That's a great topic because we talk about the city that never sleeps. I think it's New York, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I'd say the whole East Coast is up 24/7. To be honest. Really quickly, I don't want to miss out on Lourdes Mestres. Yes. I'm sorry, I'm saying it like halfway Portuguese. I'm sorry.
Lourdes. I think it's Lourdes.
In Portuguese, yes, but she's from Venezuela, right?
Lourdes
Mestres. I'm so sorry. I feel like a substitute teacher again, or the first day of class. But anyway.
But she was a
expert at systemizing and automating business operations.
Yes.
So even small scale like ours, she basically, if you want to know how to do it from a beach because you've got a team that functions, she's your lady to go look into all of her stuff. But she also has these MPH inflatables for open houses. If you've seen the the tall tubular air people with the waving arms, imagine one of those that looks like the real estate agent inside. Maybe we see if she even does like a puppy dog one.
Oh, that'd be so cute. But she's able to put your picture on it.
Yes.
So that was a very smart idea. I never would have thought of that.
And so I thought people have to know about that.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I hope.
But other than that, she's, I believe, one of the top sellers in Fort Lauderdale. And
yes, she's like the king of Fort Lauderdale.
The queen.
Wait, sorry. Yeah, everyone's the boss.
She's the queen of Fort Lauderdale, and she gave us so many pointers and tips and systems, and she literally just gave us the whole breakdown, and I'm excited to apply all of that as well.
Me too. Really, really sharp.
Yeah.
And I keep wanting to say young lady, but I don't think that she's that young.
She looks so young, but she actually is a grandma. When she would say, I'm a grandma, I was like, what?
Okay. So, sure, if you say so. Okay, Stephen Ferry. We got to meet the boss's son, but we had no idea it was him. He was just this nice guy that had good vibes. And I was like, let's do our inquiry about the coaching there.
Yeah, we were with Alessandra Ullman.
Yes.
She's one of the realtors at our brokerage. I admire her so much. She's actually the queen of Bella Colina. If you want to know more about Bella Colina, I'd say look, buy with us. But if I have any questions, I'm going to ask her. And we were there with her.
I would say we have an appropriate level of reverence for her accomplishments
and respect.
The field, yeah.
And she's just such a beautiful human being.
She's a good role model.
Great role model. I really look up to her. And so many people in our brokerage, but she's been such an angel to us. And
we're going to have to get to someone else later, too.
We will, absolutely. But anyway, she was there with us, and she ended up buying the coaching for the Tom Ferry. Mm-hmm. And so we were kind of helping her close with the guy that was selling the course. And then at the end, after we were just talking and enjoying this conversation, he's like, oh, I'm the son of Tom Ferry.
Well, what?
And we were like, what?
Because you're so like down to earth.
Yeah.
That was what I took away, was talking to just a person, not
just a friend.
not a kind of rich.
Yeah.
I don't know how famous, but
snooty
rich.
Or whatever the word
successful,
would be.
Highly successful. I feel like he's a class above me, and he didn't treat me like I'm a class below him. And that was very cool to see.
He went to high school with like Kobe's kids and.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. So like LA, Kobe, Hollywood. And so I just wanted to point out that the son was such a high character person because it speaks really well of the father.
Exactly.
And so if you're agents wanting to get into, but you're not sure about what lane is like safe, because we're very family minded. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty conservative. We don't even like to stay out late. At 7:30, like we're already your grandma's generation mindset. Yeah. And so anyway, for us to be comfortable there, you can be comfortable there if you're considering coaching.
Yeah. And we really liked Tom Ferry. And then after meeting his son, we fully trust to refer you to invest in that if that's something that you're wanting to develop. I
have a goal to be able to do the coaching soon.
Me too.
It's just that we have so much going on right now. I don't even know where the 30 minutes is going to fit. Yeah. So we'll get.
Yeah, let's get these deals finished and then we'll do our time blocks for that.
Cool. Well, those were all the awesome people from Tom Ferry. Do you have any other thing that we missed or you're hoping we would cover?
I think that's it on that.
Awesome.
On that block or whatever.
Cool. Well, I'm pretty excited about this next one. I'm not good at remembering specific things, so I'm going to have to refer to my notes here a lot for this section, but it's the zooming into the birds, lakes, species, and nature of Clermont.
Awesome.
And we got inspired to do this on the park run, which we may circle back to in the podcast in a bit. There were some visitors from Australia. Mm-hmm. And actually, I think I want to pass it off to you now.
Yeah. We met Miss Linda Potter. She was a visitor from Australia with her husband. They were a very sweet couple. Mm-hmm. They were actually sad to be leaving. We were asking them if they were from here. She said, no, we're from Australia. We're leaving in 2 days and we're sad to go. And I thought I would never hear something like that because I've always dreamed of going to Australia. And this person's here on our side of the woods in Clermont and sad to leave. But
pretty cool.
But one of the things she asked at the end was, we were there, she was talking to Dallas, our Dalmatian, and she asked Niles, what's this?
I was not sure what she was referring to because it was so obscure to me, but she was referring to the moss, the hanging moss that had fallen onto the ground. And I had no idea. Kim was already involved with some other people. Mm-hmm. So they were chatting over there. I said, but my wife remembers things quite well. She's quite sharp. She may have some knowledge somewhere in that giant brain of hers. And so I waited and we went over there and you didn't have the answer.
No. No, I didn't remember, but I ended up asking that family. And they were actually locals to Mineola, which is right next to Clermont. And she said, oh, that's Spanish moss. And the lady from Australia was like, wow, this is so beautiful.
And she was just so impressed by the Spanish moss.
Yeah, and it just lit a light in our minds that we were like, we need to tell people not just about the Spanish moss, but about the vegetation here and about the birds and about the lakes. And these are things that people are into. And so we might not know every single detail. So that's why we have it printed here for you. But we have this information ready for you because I know you're excited to know.
The topography. That's the big fancy word. I wanted to remember topography and use it on the podcast.
He's the smart one. He's the book smart.
I do like words though. But anyway, let's get into top birding spots in Clermont. I'm just going to go ahead and lift up the paper and read it. Pear Park, which is a scrub habitat.
Oh.
Palat La Caja River Park. Lake Mineola Waterfront, which yes, I love Lake Mineola Waterfront. And Lake Louisa State Park right across the street.
Right across from Highway 27. That's one of our always go-to spots for sure.
Would you mind reading for us a little bit slowly because you're going to put it up on the screen?
Of course.
So leave yourself time and them time to see.
I'm going to put the pictures up of the birds. Niles even wants me to put the sound effects of the birds, but we'll see about that. So the high frequency sightings of birds that we see here are the first one listed is osprey.
Caca. I'm kidding. That's the end of that.
Anhinga. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Anhinga.
Yeah, in Portuguese.
I'm sorry if I butchered that.
Anhinga.
Great blue heron. The great egret.
I think
egret. The snowy egret. The double-crested cormorant. And the white ibis.
The white ibis.
I'll go ahead and go into this weekly likely bird sighting. The sandhill crane. Those I usually see really frequently in the Kissimmee, Orlando area.
The crane. Well, I can ID a crane.
Sometimes you literally you'll see here, you have to stop your car to let them cross the road. And a funny story about these cranes. Once we were like snacking on a bench by a cute little pond, and they literally attacked us.
They did. We had to run.
They wanted our food, and we literally had to run into our car, and they followed us, and it was scary because they were like,
Our friend Rick, him and his wife is like one with nature.
Yeah.
And I think they have some cranes that come to
They
their...
do.
Is it cranes though?
Yeah.
Okay, it is.
Yeah, they get all the snacks. And then another weekly likely with intention. Another weekly white another bird that will be seen frequently as well is the bald eagle. So I've seen actually a couple in Winter Garden. Okay, so your turn for the seasonal.
Bald eagle. God bless America. Seasonal, high desire. So the Florida scrub jay you're going to find at the Pear Park focus area. The swallow-tailed kite is going to be late spring, early summer. The wood stark and roseate spoonbill, I have no details beyond their names here, but I imagine that they are also spring, summer birds, and that's why it didn't give me a repeat.
Another bird we would see very frequently when we lived in Orlando was the red cardinal.
Yeah, you're right.
And the blue jay.
We saw a lot.
We would see them a lot. I don't know if we've seen them here in Clermont.
No, but we have seen an owl.
We have seen an owl, and we do see deer a lot.
A lot of deer.
A lot of deer at Lake Louisa as well.
Yeah. We like the animals at Lake Louisa. We usually see something pretty beautiful.
Yeah, we've seen a dead snake. What else? Have we seen anything else crazy? Or
I think we've seen the gators.
We have seen gators, yeah. So careful with swimming at Lake Louisa.
Okay, I'll do one more with the fishing. Well, no, you're the only one in this family who likes fishing. Here you go. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not like a good man on the fishing and hunting. I do like hunting, but I still don't like shooting the animal. I just like chasing it.
Okay, fishing on the Clermont chain of lakes. We have the largemouth bass. We have the black crappie. We have the bluegill.
Okay.
We have the red ear sunfish. And we have catfish, one of my favorites.
The tastiest.
I love catfish. Oh, okay. Best timing. Sunrise and sunset for perching birds. Midday still strong for is it waders or waters?
Waders.
Midday still strong for waders. Calm mornings best for osprey activity.
I guess that's it for the birds.
Okay, that's it for the birds.
Fish. Birds and fish and critters.
There we go. Okay, now we are going to start talking about downtown Clermont.
That's exciting.
I
we
love
enjoy it
downtown Clermont.
It's one of my favorite downtowns because Nacogdoches, where we met, was a brick road downtown. Mm-hmm. I think they had a pretty low thresholds for their city planning regarding how high a building can be built.
Yeah.
And so everything was very like tiny and quaint and cute. And Clermont is the closest to that I've seen, outside of NAC.
Me too.
And I feel happy because it's a little more advanced than what we had in NAC. It's the curation, the decoration, the planning, the organization. For example, the farmers market is run like a nicely run ship, I suppose. And
very organized.
Yeah.
The vendors are there every Sunday. Mm-hmm. So you can count on them. You can be like, are they coming this Sunday or not? Sometimes it's cold, it's raining, there's always parking. So we love the Clermont Farmers Market.
We do. The Arts and Jazz Festival is all the way off till April, but it's good to know it's coming. The weekly Sun Creek Brewery Trivia Night on Tuesdays. And I think they're also having an Irish festival on the 14th of March.
March 13 and 14, maybe?
Whichever weekend is right there.
We'll also put it up here for you guys to see.
Find it. But Trivia Night sounds like fun because these breweries, we have a law down there where you can take your your beer, from brewery to brewery.
Yeah, you can walk around the historic downtown in Clermont, which is fun and rare in America.
Yep. I've only been to Louisiana.
New Orleans.
So we would go to the mall and people were just daiquiring it up.
Yep. Or those is it the Grenadines?
Yeah.
We need to go back there soon.
Oh, I miss them.
Well, we haven't been there together actually.
We've both been several times independently of each other, but never together.
Before we met. Cool. Yeah.
All right.
So hidden gems, we have 2 restaurants that we really want to recommend to you guys. One is the Guru Indian Restaurant. We haven't personally been, but I have heard a lot of good things about it.
The social media loves
him. Social media loves him. And I believe he's also been a chef at Disney before for many, many years, if I'm not mistaken.
That makes sense. We are right there from Disney.
Yep. And then the second option we have is Cheezer's Palace Cafe. We have had breakfast there before. It's a very traditional American breakfast, also downtown Clermont. Super yummy. Highly recommend.
If you want quality Americano.
Yes. And it's family owned. They've been there for many, many years and they love what they do and they serve that and you can taste it on the plate and it's very fun to go there with your family.
Definitely family friendly. I think, are they also dog friendly there? I can't remember.
Outside.
Maybe outside.
Yeah, outside for sure.
I mean, generally outside is dog friendly. So
that's true.
Kind of yes to all. Ooh, number 5. Ooh. So I have a family history of cancer. You guys have heard about my sister who passed from cancer. Before that, our aunt had breast cancer. Um, another aunt had breast cancer. Grandmother had cancer in her mouth tissue. Anyway, we don't need to list all of the cancers and all of the deaths. Point is, there's a BRCA gene mutation
in your family,
in our family, and it is to be determined whether or not I carry that expressed version of that gene, but it's definitely potentially there hereditarily.
Hereditarily?
Hereditarily. Hereditary is the religious term for like improper theology.
Okay, I know what you mean.
It's hidden in there, perhaps.
So we want to now dive into cancer and glioblastoma specifically, and obviously this is a really soft and delicate subject to go into because you lost your sister a little over a year ago. But this is also a very important topic to us because we want to bring not just cancer awareness, but glioblastoma awareness, because when she found out, it was already a stage 4, which, as you know, if you Google it, the chances of survival are very minimal. And so with the information that we have, we want to share with you guys, and if you can share with as many people as you can, as we know, I believe probably every person has had one person in their family affected by cancer at this point. I've lost my grandmother to cancer. And so it's something that we're very passionate about and want to just spread the word on this. And so we have a list here with a few things that we would like to share with you about early warning signs of glioblastoma specifically. If you don't know what glioblastoma is, it is a brain cancer. So Niles, if you want to go ahead and share the early warning signs with them.
Yeah. Persistent morning headaches, seizures for new onset, and seizures people often think of as convulsion and loss of locomotive control and articulation, but they can actually be much subtler than that. People can have seizures while driving, not realize it, continue driving more or less safely because it's a safe situation. But like they wouldn't have been able to respond during that time frame, but it was so short and so subtle they never even realized they had it.
What would you say that felt like or looked like? Because I don't believe I've ever experienced a seizure.
Seizure feels something like your brain is blocked from communication from your body. And your body is, well...
But during the one that you're driving that you were saying that you might not even...
So you might feel slightly confused.
Okay.
Or disorientated.
But you don't have like tremors and stuff while you're driving?
Well, I don't have any of these things when I'm driving ever at all, any which way, but it could happen to a hypothetical person.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, not you.
If I had signs, I'd go check it out and make sure I'm not driving.
Absolutely, yeah.
Please do the same.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Sorry. Memory decline, personality changes, vision issues, which were pronounced and salient in Halsey's case, along with Alice in Wonderland hallucinations, speech difficulty, and balance problems.
So I believe those are all symptoms that she did have. One of the things that made her go to the hospital and find out that she had cancer was the headache. She had such a bad headache that her husband rushed her to the emergency room. They did an MRI, and that's when they started investigating and found out. So if you're having persistent headaches, it doesn't necessarily mean that, but
it doesn't.
That was the first big warning sign that brought it on. She did have frequent seizures. She did have a memory decline. She didn't necessarily forget the people around her, but she had a speech to word association. She would be like...
lexical indexing.
It would be like, what's this called? And then she'd be like, it's, like this. It smells really good, but she couldn't recall candle, for example.
Exactly.
Right? Like things like that.
Exactly.
Personality changes?
No.
Not as much, right?
But before we got the diagnosis, my extended family, her immediate family, my brother-in-law's family, were noticing her. She has always been this most happy, sweet, positive, kind, easygoing, supportive, encouraging, whatever makes everyone happy. She will take the discomfort on her if it means you can have it easy. And they were noticing a little bit more of an expressiveness and assertiveness about, no, I don't think I want to do that. I'm sorry. And that was the only personality difference they said they might have started to notice. But I think also after cancer, you might feel that way just because, okay, I just realized my
time's short and I'm just...
Like, that's not for me,
Vision issues. She did have to start wearing glasses, and she also couldn't drive anymore because she basically had lost her peripheral vision. Speech difficulty. and balance problems, not till the very end, right? Because she was running still most
even
of
after the first surgery.
Yeah.
She bounced back and was running. Some confirmed risk factors include prior therapeutic radiation exposure, which she was a nurse at the hospital there. The nurse, was it Herman Memorial?
Herman Memorial.
Which is actually, I think, where she ended up later. So she had left so many seeds of positive relationship across the hospital. Everywhere we went, people would, part the sea for her to come through because of how she treated people, just as her way of being in life. And that's something I've taken. So people might find me a bit much if you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know Halsey.
If you don't know Halsey, it was like, why is he so friendly?
Why is he being so nice to me?
Why is he so nice to me? And it's, well, life is very, 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 very short. And my sister received tremendous favor in the worst of life situations because of how she treated people. And so I believe
in the amount of people that showed up at her funeral.
It was an auditorium.
It was, yeah.
She could fill a stadium.
She could fill a stadium. And not just filling a stadium, but each person had a personal story and encounter with her where they would, it was just incredible to see the impact that she left in their lives. And it made me realize, like, wow, when I die, I don't know if I'll have like more than 3 people here. Not that I'm a bad person, but I want to really make an impact before I go.
When you self-sacrificially love others, and you're really not in it for anything other than I get to see you do good, and that's what I get joy out of, and that's who she was. There's no way you're going to be alone on your deathbed.
Yeah.
But these are the new values that I have.
She literally had people fighting about who was going to take care of her during her last days.
Yes.
It was like, there wasn't a scheduling problem because we didn't have people. There was a scheduling problem because there was too many people. And it was everyone wanted to take care of her.
And if you have to train that many people, if anybody's ever managed anything, it's just like, that's not.
But that's just how loved she was. Yes. I hope I have people lining up at my door wanting to come take care. I know you will, but there needs to be about.
Anybody who sees this who feels like they weren't given their fair time, it wasn't about any one person. It's about the general principle of when you have to get someone up to speed over and over and over and over again, and nobody gets to build confidence in the tasks. You have, what's the first time you drove? Okay, so now you can drive, but do you want your chauffeur to be a system where it's the first time driver every time you get chauffeured?
Exactly. Or do you want a smooth ride?
Or do you want someone who's 15 years been driving you, knows exactly how you like it done?
Yeah.
And so it wasn't about anything other than the comfort.
And comfort too, because I wouldn't, honestly, personally, that's what I was trying to think about with her too. I wouldn't want someone that I don't know personally seeing me in certain conditions, and so I would prefer family in certain intimate situations. But anyway, continuing.
Where did we leave off? I've already gotten lost. Certain inherited genetic syndromes. Mine, that's me. Luckily, I haven't worked in a hospital, so I'm not around radiation all the time. But she was, and had this inherited genetic predisposition. And
lifestyle choices.
Even like she loved candles, but even candles are
so during her treatment toxic. They had to remove anything that was scented. So all candles were removed. So if you're a candle lover, just make sure that you know what it is that you're inhaling and just be aware of what's used. We try to go more the natural route. Your perfumes, your body sprays.
Get comfortable with stinkiness because everything that smells good is giving you cancer. That's the bottom line. Like, if it smells good, it's probably killing you. End of story, basically.
Try to go the most natural route possible, because I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be stinky or be around anything stinky, but there are natural options. Like, even for laundry detergent, you can go for a plant-based. You can go for essential oil-based.
Don't chew gum.
Candles. Avoid chewing gum. There's a million things that we will be communicating more with you guys, because this is something important to us.
Yeah, it is.
And that we've been also slowly over time doing to preserve our health, because we want to live till we're 120. And if there's anything that we are in control of, because there's so many things we're not in control of, we're going to try to handle as best we can.
Put your phone in a room separate from where you sleep.
Yeah.
The radiation to your brain is real. There's a disclaimer in your phone about it. Okay, local support for people who are going through cancer or glioblastoma specifically. And there's the Greater Clermont Cancer Foundation, which offers financial and emotional support, and especially women supporting women's groups that meet on the second Thursday of each month.
Okay. I'll also have all these links and information up here as we're speaking, just so it's easier for you to find.
Thank you so much for doing all of that, Kim. By the way, she edits, she puts all the clips, she goes and finds all the pictures. I put this little thing together, but that takes about 30 minutes, and then her work takes about 3 hours.
It's fine.
She's a superhero. Anyway, Orlando Health Cancer Support Groups, in-person and virtual options, and then Advent Health Cancer Institute has a survivalship and chaplain prayer support service. Florida Cancer Specialists of Clermont has an online support group access. It's probably on their website, I'd imagine.
I'd also like to look into, but I'm sure if you look on your Facebook, there are also small local groups in your area, not necessarily just Clermont, but maybe it's, if you're a woman, just, women that come together certain days during the month and just pray, or have a night where you can just come together and in community and have fun and laugh, and or even just exchange your story. Sometimes you're carrying this burden but this other person's going through the same thing as you, and you can just feel a little bit of relief through what you're going through when someone else is going through the same thing.
I know.
So don't do this alone. It's a very painful, lonely walk. So have someone hold your hand during this process, and that will be there for you to support you, because just don't give up. Don't give up on yourself.
I know for my brother-in-law, he found a lot of solace and comfort and camaraderie with the other husbands of glioblastoma diagnoses, groups, support groups, and friends that he had. There were a bunch of other pastors even, because he's a pastor, who went through the same thing, and him being able to find people with a similar faith background to his own to be able to speak into his situation. Everybody's stuff they grew up with at home has that early life significance and power to it, and I would say tap into that. Of course, I'd love it if you came to my religious preferred group, but go to your religious preferred group and, see what it has to say about life and the bigger meaning and transforming grief into purpose, life, renaissance,
That's kind of what happened to you, right?
Yeah, I've got dreams for building something that's something of a legacy project that does have products, but the point of the product is to generate charity. So it's not really products. It's just big apparel pieces that feature her art, and then whatever it costs to give the person that design from the best possible source, we just double it, and all the profit goes to the charity, and then the other half goes to building the organization that makes the charities possible. So it's like zero profit.
Yeah. Our intention is not to make any money off of it. It's to support glioblastoma, and not just patients, but the families and the people that are left behind. That, like her husband John, he, it's hard on the spouse and her 3 children. She has 3 little kids that, thank God they have a beautiful, incredible support group, but they don't get to have their mom. So we want to have as much available to support everyone in our community.
And honestly, we're here too. We're very time bound and constrained, but I'll make time for you. Especially if, there's a reason why you connect with what we've been talking about. Like there's a personal connection that happened for you. Don't feel afraid of, oh, well, I listened to your podcast, but I'm a stranger to you. Can I reach out to you? Yes, you can. I may not immediately respond. She knows, I barely have time to brush my teeth in a given day. But it means so much to my brother-in-law, and him being able to be there for her meant so much to me, the way he showed up for her, that I want to empower other husbands to show up for their wives. In this situation, if there's a terminal situation, but also let's show up for our wives just day to day before we find out, which we all had. With my mother, I had tremendous regret in how I showed up as a son. I just didn't respond to her texts because I was too cool in college. And they say the way you treat your mother is how you'll treat your wife. And so I'm very convicted from the scar of the regret from my mother to not have that regret. Not that anything's ever going to happen to you, but I want to show up for you.
And you do. I'm really blessed.
Sometimes I show up too much, and you're like, can you put some of that in a box?
No, you're incredible. I'm so blessed to have you as my husband, and you having sisters. I've also been blessed by that. So he makes sure to keep the toilet seat clean for him. I'm just kidding.
I do. I have a system.
Yeah, he has a whole system. So anyway, I'm just kidding. It's way beyond that, but that's not what this part is about. And we also just want to take this time for you to don't take life for granted. Just don't.
No.
Take your life for granted. Live it to your fullest. Don't leave anything on the table. Don't waste your time, and don't regret not doing the things you wish you had done. Time is going to fly by.
There's a Kanye West lyric, and I'm sorry for bringing up a politically polarizing figure, but I've enjoyed his music in the past, and it's, wake up, buddy, wake up. It's time to make the paper. But for real, wake up. Your life is short, it's fast, and it's more fragile than any of us.
And be grateful for your health. If you're able to get up with your 2 legs and your 2 arms and walk out the door every day, and not have to worry about your health, you are good to go. You don't need anything else. Everything else is in your control.
Amen.
But if you have glioblastoma stage 4 cancer, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, amen. Everybody loves me because my sermons are super short, and I'm done preaching to y'all about sad topics. Kim's got some fun questions that we're going to move into.
Do we want to do this first before we move on?
Oh.
So this is the volcano candle that we had actually bought for the kids. This was Halsey's favorite kind of candle.
Yeah, it's her favorite smell.
To the kiddos. It's her favorite smell. But at the end of her treatment, she couldn't have candles anymore.
This is actually something I got for my brother-in-law that I'm still intending to send to him. But right now,
it was for the kids.
Well, there's things in the gift basket for the kids too, but things also for him, and they're all in one basket, so that's reasonable. But right now, it's been something I just kind of, when I want to pray for him or the kids, I remember that her and him had a special connection over this smell, and I'm gonna get to send it to him with some, if I ever can have time to finish some things I want to make for them that are significant and send, including this.
We're gonna get there.
We'll see.
The next thing is
hard to find time.
The book that Halsey's mother-in-law made for her, for each of her family members, and she passed away December 28th of 2024. And she mailed this to us about a month after her passing. So I would say it's been about 13 months that we've had this just sitting in our room, and you haven't been able to open it.
I have not been able to open it.
And Niles has decided to open it today. It's completely sealed. And I've been asking him to open it because I actually want to look at it because I miss her and want to see her, and he hasn't been ready, but he's decided to open it today. So.
Okay. I'm going to try. It's very well taped. It's hard to find a starting point.
Wow.
Very thoughtful box. I like it.
There's a pen drive.
Oh, there's a pen drive. Memories forever. Digital transfers, photo restoration. So if anyone does ever want one of the apparel commissions for her legacy project, it'll feature art that she did while she had her glioblastoma for her kids of family, like animals that the kids like and stuff that's pretty family fun. And so we've got.
Is it all on here?
I think so.
Oh my god.
And if not, it is on a website as well. Should I read this letter? We can cut it if it gets too personal or anything they don't want us to share, but I don't think they would do that. Hey, you two special folks. Sending this album to you with all of my love. Niles, I hope your endeavors are building some momentum for a path doing more of what you want to do. Have you considered seeing if you could get in to teach at the community college level, like GED courses or ESL courses, or Spanish if you are fluent in that? A very reasonable mistake to make. Not everybody is super clued in on Brazil speaks Portuguese, and I only actually can do Portuguese.
That's okay. We won't get offended.
But man, I wish I could do Spanish. It would be very
I actually
strategic.
want to learn Spanish.
It's a nice sounding language too. I think if you could teach at the adult level, you might really like it better than middle to 12th grade without the discipline issues that teenagers bring. Smart lady. She's my sister's mother-in-law is a doctoral level administrator of academic institutions. So she's very, very smart lady. I know this will seem out of your wheelhouse, but another thing that occurred to me was how good you were with Halsey and helping her rehab. Lindsay and Kate, Halsey's very good friend, took a short trainer course to get certified, and they both have taught classes at LA Fitness. Just a thought or two. Hope all is well. I love you, Kim and Niles! ! Susan. Hand-drawn heart.
That's so her.
I like how she made sure to do the heart with a hand-drawn so we knew it was personal.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for this very thoughtful letter, Susan. And for so many things that you already know that we don't have the time to go into here. So luckily, we're going to have screen sharing available. First pictures. I'll try to bring them close. You can see this picture here is us in Iran, I believe, with a nomadic tribe, and she's holding a goat, which is sort of how they sustain themselves, is keeping goats in herds. And then here's her family tree on her mother's side, her maternal family tree, and a family picture we took when we came back to the United States for medical evaluation after our first 4 years in the Middle East. And then Halsey and her nuclear family, the Wethingtons. So she went from Pfeiffer to Wethington, and here's Wethington. And I would have to tell y'all that if you have the pleasure of getting to know the Wethingtons, treasure it and treat them well, because they're very special people. Can everybody see? I feel like I'm doing show and tell. Perhaps I'll come closer.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Oh, Cam, I don't want to block you.
You might have to get a little. There you go. Now it's focused. No, you have to take my face out, or it's gonna focus on me. There you go. Yeah.
Okay. There's my mother, me, and Halsey. Cam, give me feedback if I'm drifting and they can't see it very good. Here we are in Coppell, Dallas, where it snowed. Coppell subdivision of the city of Dallas in Texas, where it snowed. Easter, my mom's favorite holiday because she was born on Easter. Birth. My mom.
Side's not showing too good.
Oops. Thank you, baby. Birth. My mom and dad. Such an 80s look, right?
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up. This was a lot for Niles, and we need to be sensitive to that, and I understand that. And so next time we'll go more into more questions, and we have a lot more of exciting things that we want to talk about, but
Yeah, I just can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm still too broken.
No, it's okay. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. If you stayed till the very end, thank you so much. If you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, like, comment, share with us your feedback. What do you like about the podcast? What do you not like? What do you want to hear more about? Let us know. We are here to serve you. We want to bring you valuable information. We want you to know what you need to know to feel confident in your purchase, or if you're considering moving to Central Florida. What do you want to know? Send us your questions our way. We will get that to you. Thank you. See you next week. Bye, guys.